Title: I was so engrossed in my affair that I stopped hiding it. One day, I got home and found the house empty. My husband had vanished. A strange smell wafted up from the basement. Start: I walked in, humming a tune I barely recognized, and froze. The house was empty. Every light was off. My keys clinked in my hand, suddenly deafening in the quiet. Something was off. The air smelled wrong. Acrid, metallic, undeniable. My stomach twisted. I followed it downstairs. The basement door creaked as I pushed it open. There he was, lying face up, eyes wide, frozen in a silent plea I could almost hear. A note rested on the cold concrete beside him. "You're next." My pulse caught. I knew that handwriting. My mind went numb, then sharp. Survival instincts kicked in. But more than that, a plan began to form. I had loved him once. I really had. The years had been sweet, dinners by candlelight, late-night walks, whispered promises. I had believed in us, in the fortress of our marriage. And yet, in those same years, I had built a secret life. I didn't hide it well, but I had allowed myself to indulge. I was careless, absorbed. And now, that carelessness had brought me here. The affair had been intoxicating, simple, easy, thrilling. I'd stopped pretending, stopped disguising my desire for someone else. Every touch, every stolen hour was a thrill that pushed me further away from him. I thought it would never matter. I was wrong. I discovered the betrayal not in a flash of violence, not in a shouted argument. It came in small, almost imperceptible signs: deleted messages, unfamiliar fragrances on his shirts, too many phone calls ending abruptly. At first, I convinced myself it was paranoia. Then, one night, I found the tickets, airline stubs for trips I didn't know he'd booked, hotel keys tucked in the back of a drawer. My heart sank, then hardened. The taste of betrayal was bitter, metallic. My grief turned to something colder: calculation. I watched, I listened. Every move he made I cataloged. Every lie, every slip, every shadow he left behind was recorded. I learned how he operated, how he controlled, how he underestimated me. The thrill of planning was its own kind of revenge. I didn't confront him. I didn't threaten him. I became invisible, silent, until it was time. Execution required patience. I sabotaged his every advantage without touching him directly. Emails that vanished, financial accounts frozen, schedules shifted. I made sure the right people noticed, just enough to unravel the trust he thought he had. And when the time was right, I let him stumble into his own trap. I remember the night vividly. The betrayal came full circle. He thought he was untouchable, thought I had no idea. He laughed in my face, or maybe it was my imagination. Regardless, he fell, hard. I watched from the shadows, quiet, controlled, savoring every second of his panic, his disbelief. The notes, the messages, the alarms, they were all mine. Every move had been orchestrated like a symphony. When he realized, finally, that he had miscalculated, that the chessboard had always been mine, he pleaded. I didn't answer. There was nothing to say. Justice is a quiet thing. It doesn't need explanation. Watching him unravel was satisfying in a way I couldn't have imagined when I first discovered the affair. By the time he vanished, I had everything in place: evidence, accounts, witnesses, irrefutable proof. His empire crumbled quietly, invisibly, the way a house of cards collapses under a breath. And yet, I was calm. I had anticipated every reaction, every escape route, every pitfall. I never touched him physically. I didn't need to. Power is more intoxicating when it's unseen, untraceable. The note, the smell, the illusion of threat, they were the instruments of my vengeance. He was clever, but not clever enough. And I had nothing to lose. Now I sit in the silence of my restored house. The air smells faintly of bleach and candles. Peace, finally. I think about the body in the basement, the terror, the betrayal, the final lesson he didn't survive long enough to learn. And I smile quietly. Not triumphantly, not cruelly, just satisfied. I am untouchable now. He underestimated the quiet strength of someone who has been wronged. He believed that his charm, his control would shield him. He was wrong. Every whisper, every smirk, every slight against me was accounted for. Justice doesn't roar. Justice whispers. And tonight it spoke clearly. I pour myself a glass of wine. The city lights glitter outside my window, indifferent to the chaos that once lurked in my home. And yet, I know it is complete. The betrayal has been repaid in full. The lesson has been delivered. I am calm, I am cold, and I am free. The thrill of being underestimated, the power in silence, it is intoxicating. He will not rise again, and I will never be the same, never weak, never foolish. I glance at the note once more, a memento, a reminder. I tuck it into a drawer.